Coming to you from that once-forgotten artery that pulses through the center of the continental United States and into the heart of the Ozarks, Grace Matthews. Looking in from the northern border, our Canadian friend, along with his countrymen feeling the effects of U.S. political issues, Connor Murphy.
Welcome to Dueling Dialogues, episode 146. I'm Connor Murphy, here with Grace Matthews. Hi, Grace. Are you alive?
Barely. I've got this new sexy voice.
Yeah, it's quite sexy, actually. You just started drinking bourbon at 7 a.m., didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Believe me, I don't feel too sexy. I don't look too sexy.
Yeah, good thing we haven't gone to video yet, right?
Yeah, oh boy. You don't know how many times in the last 2 days, especially this morning, I was going, thank goodness we don't have that done yet.
Me too.
Because I look really scary.
I've had this cold flu going on the third week now.
Well, I don't know about you, but I, for the first time this year, got a flu shot.
Oh, so how'd that work out for you?
Yeah, well, not seeming like it worked so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real hit and miss with those.
It is.
And obviously they missed.
Well, and I don't get the flu very often, about once every 4 or 5 years. And I've gotten it maybe worse than this, but not as long and not as multi-symptom.
Yeah, it's relentless. I keep thinking I'm going to wake up feeling fine tomorrow, and I wake up and sometimes I do feel good until evening, and then it comes back. So it goes away, It comes back. Just when you think you got it licked, boom, it's back.
Yeah, it is like that.
Yeah.
But
enough about us being sickly.
Yeah. Well, when you get to sit around and watch the news and stuff, you can get pretty fired up.
That is for sure.
And you start thinking, what we're going to talk about today is defamation and libel. It's the new legal treasure chest. You've got these attorneys that chase car accidents and medical cases because they're easy. I mean, actually, the outcome has already been decided by a cop and his paperwork, or a doctor and the paperwork. It's all there.
Right.
They don't have to work.
Right.
Well, the same is true now for internet defamation and libel. Now, let me remind you that the defamation is the action of damaging the good reputation of someone.
Right.
Okay? And you got to keep that in mind, because libel is when you publish it. You publish a false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. Now, some states, it can even be true. But if you are doing it to hurt somebody, then you can be busted. Now, Like I said, the reason we haven't thought a whole lot about defamation before is because it was very hard to prove.
Right. What were
people's
true motives? Yeah, what were people's true motives?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And when you leave something ugly on the internet, there's really not any doubt about the fact that you are trying to hurt that person.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's the perfect legal storm. It also defies statutes of limitations. And you might say, why? Well, by virtue of the internet. It's an ongoing damage.
Right. It's there.
It's not like somebody published it in the paper and everybody forgot about it. It's there all the time.
Right.
So you got to think about that.
Once it's out there, it's out there.
The damages are ongoing. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Some gift.
Yeah. And most states do not have limits. Okay?
Right.
That means like they've capped a lot of medical malpractice suits. It might be like 300,000 is all you can get. defamation and libel does not have limits in most states.
Well, I see. Okay.
You can publish libel. You're publishing it if you post a review, a tweet, a Facebook post. They have those character profiles.
Right.
You have to be particularly careful about those because a lot of times, if you don't know that person, you haven't seen that person, it could be an identity theft. Okay?
Wow, okay.
You might be leaving it for the wrong person. You also might just have the wrong person. A lot of people have the same names. I tell you what, I went to the casino here, 2 hours away from my home.
Right.
And I forgot my card that you have to stick, in when you're gambling.
Right.
So I go up there, I give her my name, and I gave her my husband's name too for some reason. I don't know why. I want you to know 3 hours away from me, there's another couple with our same name.
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
No.
Wow. Am I podcasting with the right person?
You never know. So you got to think about those character profiles. Because a lot of times people are leaving those on people that might have screwed them out of money, but they never met them.
Yeah, some of the people I think involved in this Right for Life march that posted some of those videos turned out to be some blogger from Brazil.
Exactly. That's who started it. And then you got this trickle down, I call it, where, those kids are going to have attorneys. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But you post something on a blog, somebody shares it, or someone takes that story, you've got multiple people defaming someone if it's untrue.
Right.
You can't just go back and say, well, I got that information from, Joe Blow that doesn't exist anymore in Brazil.
Right.
Okay? The judge, the courts, they don't care. Because you have defamed someone in a way that lives on, as far as we know, in eternity.
Right.
Even when you take it off, it can still be found. Okay, so you got to think about misidentity, identity theft, and just the wrong identity. For example, there's these people living in Bentonville, Arkansas, with our same name. They haven't done anything to me.
Yeah.
At all. But how easy would it be to confuse that?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I guess that did happen in this situation. There was another kid somewhere in the States who looks exactly like the kid wearing the MAGA hat in the video.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
and,
okay.
It just so happened that his family was going through a family wedding. I don't know who exactly was getting married, but I guess it messed up the entire wedding because there was people, protesting in front of his place and everything. It wasn't even the right kid.
Oh my gosh. See, I think that happens more than people realize because, I have to throw this in again. When people come across the borders, they take identities. Like I said, my father-in-law is now living in Jamaica, New York, and he's been dead for almost 3 years.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, and it's very hard to get to the bottom of that. Like I said, we worked and lived in Sacramento for several years.
Right.
And the IRS thought we hadn't paid enough taxes.
Then you moved to Bentonville.
Among other things. Yeah, then we moved to Bentonville. It just goes on and on. We lived in a couple of towns in Kansas that I've never even heard of. I mean, it goes on and on because when you get an identity theft, they don't just sell it off to one person.
Right, it's out there on the
and
dark web.
The original identity theft we had was in the 90s.
Oh,
at
my.
the early stages of the internet. And I had a sick kid at home, so I would purchase a lot. Didn't think about it not being safe at that time.
Right. Wow.
So you have to think about that. And then, like you said, you got to trickle down. This guy, started this situation on this video of these kids in Brazil. He's taken down his account. Nobody knows who he is. Probably nobody's ever going to know.
Right.
But yet, especially these celebrities that jumped on board, you know what? They're out there this time. And I don't think a sorry is going to cut it.
Right.
There's going to be a low threshold now. Because people are sick and tired of this.
Absolutely.
Okay. The threshold that the courts use for deciding whether you're damaging a person is, are you saying something that could possibly prevent a person from making a living, from getting medical care? And you say, how could it be medical care? Oh, yeah. Doctors and nurses use this to decide whether you're being truthful or if you want to get opioids. Okay?
Okay.
They Google their patients. Schools Google potential students. My son, and all of his scholarships, he gets Googled. If they find something creepy, they got a bunch of other kids. They're not going to take a lot of time to see if somebody said the right thing or not.
Right, exactly.
Or if it's on the right kid. They don't really care. Repairmen, construction workers, neighbors, they use it to know what kind of people they're dealing with. They shouldn't, because they're terribly, horribly inaccurate. So you're talking about if it potentially keeps you from getting a job, a scholarship, sales. What about it? Business.
Right.
Then the attorneys got you. They have hit a home run.
I believe you are absolutely correct. And they know who to go after, right? They're not going to go after the little guy that has no money or nobody knows.
Probably not. But they're going to go after the people with the deep pockets. Like
the celebrities.
Exactly. Like, these Covington high school kids. Elisa Milano said that the kid that was in front of the drummer had a punchable face. There are people that wanted to burn the school down with the children in it. These are children.
I know. It just kind of escalated very quickly without anybody getting a full story, too,
It's horrible. It is horrible. Now, last week, we're focused on these kids. We're focused on getting a job. But what about when it hurts a business? You had a situation last week that you've taken care of, but you don't know how many people saw it before you could get it taken away from and won't give you a second chance.
Yeah, you're talking about the bogus review on Facebook.
Exactly.
The non-recommendation. Yeah. So we got one on our business page, and we knew it was bogus. We knew who it came from, and it was one of my partner's ex's new girlfriends that was just being spiteful. So yeah, actually, you probably don't know the whole story. That basically it's gone on and on and on, and yes, we did get an apology. However, we live in a small town, and we heard that she's still saying things like, it's not going to go away until this person is gone, and she's applied for a handgun license.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So,
in the States, you would be able to take care of it really quickly, I think. She went over the line.
Yeah. Here in Canada, not so much. However, we did involve the law, and they probably won't issue. Yeah, they probably won't issue the handgun license. And she is getting basically hauled in and talked to. So, it was a stressful week though. So I can't imagine.
Oh, well, it's as mad. I've known you for a few years now. And I told the Hammer that was as mad as I've ever seen or heard you.
Yeah, I was visibly shaking mad.
Oh, I could tell. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it touched a nerve, definitely. So,
well, you've worked hard on this. Not only have you and Helena worked hard on this, but you've got models, you've got writers, you've got advertisers.
Yeah.
And what she did damaged all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it makes me wonder, will we get to the point, kind of like on auto accidents, where you really don't give a damn how deep somebody's pockets are. You're going to sue anyway because it has to stop.
Yeah, essentially. Here in Canada, I don't know how, it would still be hard. We have a lot of evidence. Of course, we've kept all the evidence. It would still be hard to sue in Canada. I don't think it would be hard at all in the U.S.
Oh, no, it would be a search. And like I say, I think that people are not going to be after the almighty dollar so much as please make it stop.
Yeah.
If you've ever had an enemy, my family had an enemy, my greater family, who would just do libel things all the time.
Oh, wow.
And, I honestly think in light of the situation, we would not tolerate it anymore. The person doesn't have money, but you can't live with the pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can't, when it affects your ability to make money, you have to do something. And taking them to court and suing them isn't just about the money.
Right. Right.
Now, they make it to where in order to drive a car, you have to carry an insurance policy in case you have an accident.
Right.
If you have a loan on your home, you have to have an insurance policy the bank makes you.
Right.
I think soon they're going to have to make you have an insurance policy to post things on the web.
Oh,
I really do.
man.
And if you don't, you should have one. For example, we carry one on us in case we post something wrong. And we certainly aren't trying to.
Right. Right.
We're certainly not out to hurt anybody. But I really believe that. And, we used to be a nation of bridges and second chances.
Yeah.
Today, in the wild, wild west that's emerging out of Silicon Valley, we are a nation of hate and gotcha moments.
Yeah. It's a divide and conquer strategy that has saturated everything that we know. And
Trump never hated that much, Connor.
No, this is not coming from the right. This is coming from the left.
This left-wing mob that have gone after these children are speaking of violence.
I know.
Violence towards children and others.
Yes. So why aren't their accounts suspended?
These kids are helpless to fight it.
Why aren't their accounts suspended?
I would really like to know.
So what kind of...
This has really fired people up.
So what's it going to take for a person from the left to get their account suspended? Because it's very, very easy to have your account suspended if you're in the right.
I know. Well, I think that the people on the right that are being attacked are going to start filing lawsuits. For example, a team of attorneys are going to these kids' school.
Good. And
they're going to start filing. And I have a feeling that those days are over for these crazy Trump-hating, white-hating, Christian-hating, Jew-hating bastards.
I hope so, too. I couldn't agree
they
with you more.
They are at the bottom of this.
Yeah.
And these lawyers are coming. Advice from us is if you are on social media, take out a libel policy. Because it's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
The deeper your pockets look, the quicker you will be served. And find your ass in court.
Yeah, and maybe this is exactly what's needed to shut some of these celebrities up that are just kind of abusing their status to put out their own propaganda.
Yeah, and they're mostly white women.
Yeah,
that are hating on white men, hating on Christians, hating on Jews, why does it bother you? I don't care who somebody worships. I don't care who they sleep with. I don't care what color they are. If you wake up in the morning and your first question about something someone did is, are they a Republican or Democrat? Are they a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim? Or, what, did I say what color are they?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I forgot what I said. Anyway, if that is your first question, you're the racist ass.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more.
Absolutely, and we don't always agree, but life's a journey, and we're all in this together. Thanks for listening. Godspeed, Connor, and Godspeed to all of our friends out there.
Godspeed, Grace, and please get better soon.
Oh, thank you. I am trying.
Thanks for listening, everyone.